It's your lucky day. Your whisk is my command.
Hey, this guy.
So I'm just a simple North Carolina boy, but I used to have people come into my restaurants from Maryland and say, boy, you must be from Maryland, because this is the best crab cake I've ever had. Let me tell you this right now, if there's breadcrumbs in your crab cake, it ain't a crab cake, all right? Filler in a crab cake should be more crab. Let's get into the action. So time and time again, I mention airflow. When we're starting our grill, there's a super simple way to light this thing and get it up to temperature in a fast manner. But before we do that, I'd like to throw down the International String Pull Challenge. I'm laying down the gauntlet. I want to see you post and tag Kamado Joe in one of these.
Ooh-wee.
Bam! So satisfying. And then Christmas come early. Oh, it's big block. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. Now, I love cooking with this charcoal. It's a lot of fun. The string pull challenge, let's call it the gauntlet, has been thrown. So don't forget, on Instagram, Facebook, tag at Kamado Joe and show us your string pull. Style and grace. And I do give points for comedy, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start this fire. Enough with the shenanigans, Nate. Enough with the shenanigans. We're gonna, check it out. There's a little bit of remnants of charcoal left over from previous cooks, multiple cooks. A little stick even fell in there, no thank you. So we're gonna add our large pieces of charcoal to this charcoal. Now the larger pieces are gonna have more nooks and crannies and light easier than the smaller pieces, which sit relatively flat on each other, okay? So that's another reason I like this big block charcoal. It just allows you to light the fire faster. And we're gunning for a temperature today of about 350 degrees direct with a cast iron skillet. We're gonna do some crab cakes. I'm super excited. Let's get into the action. So I've got a great glowing bed of embers right here in the front. You can see how the airflow is just ramping it up. Now I'm gonna incorporate all of this charcoal into that older, smaller stuff that was in there to begin with. And notice this is gonna be two different heat signatures, right? A really intense one over here and a little less intense over here. So let's go ahead and install our cast iron griddle, reversible griddle. This thing has seen some action. And I'll close the dome now, open the control tower, and we're gonna watch this temperature ramp its way up to 350, 425-ish. The key to making a great crab cake is starting out with great crab, okay? And let's think about this. So I've got some fun ingredients here. You don't want to start with mixing these ingredients into these large pieces. We're going to start by mixing them into our smaller pieces because we don't want to beat up. We want to see those huge chunks, right? So this will be the base of our mix, and we're starting out with a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 pounds of lump crab to 1 pound of jumbo lump. And let's go ahead and add that here. And this entire time that we're adding stuff, we're using a gentle hand. So I'm gonna go in with 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Now we're gonna go in with Duke's mayonnaise, okay? And about yay much. And that's gonna act kind of as our binder, okay? Now let's go in with Sriracha, 1 tablespoon. Salt plays an interesting role here as well. When we talk about binders, salt is the secondary binder. As we mix this, it's gonna pull the proteins out and help these cakes stay together. There's no bread in this, okay? There's no crushed up Ritz crackers or any big pieces of roasted red pepper. I said it earlier and I mean it. The filling for crab cakes should be crab, all right? If you're looking for something else to put in your crab cake, you can't figure out what it is, it's more crab, yeah. I want to kind of pair and accentuate the sweetness of that crab. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of that Q-Nami from Lane's Barbecue. There's a little turbinado sugar in there. I'm not saying add sugar into your mix, but I do like a little bit of sweetness just to really bring it out and get that caramelization on the bottom of the cast iron. A little lemon juice just brightens the whole dish up, but we want to watch out for how much liquid we're adding to this mix because we do need to hold it together as a cake. And I like to kind of season that around. Spread the love. I'm gonna go in with a full lemon's worth of juice here, and then we'll chop the parsley. Oh, that's getting a little too much there. We're going in. Now, when we're mixing, we want to have gentle hands coming from the bottom and rotating over. Let it rain down a little bit. And we still have that jumbo lump to get in there. So we're gonna macerate this just a little bit, but we don't want to mush. Nathan, you a crab cake guy?
Oh, 100%, and I am really looking forward to finishing this video.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, we can put this mix as is in an omelet or like on a toasted point, or just eat it, just house it right now, but that wouldn't be prudent. Okay, we're making crab cakes. Let's not forget, this is an elegant dish. What you do behind closed doors, I'm not asking. All right, good mixture here. And look, you know, it's cakeable. Okay, now we go in with our jumbo lump. Now this is the money. This is the money. Very gently. And that's about it. Okay. I like to use an ice cream scoop. We're gonna make appetizer versions of these crab cakes. If you want to make a bigger crab cake, no worries, go ahead. But I like to put, look at the size of this colossal piece compared to the scoop. It'd be nicer if we had a bigger scoop, but we're doing okay. So we're gonna put that in there, and then we're gonna really just pack it down in there and squeeze some of that juice out. Okay. And we're gonna start popping these babies out. Stunning.
That's simple.
Yeah, I wanna,
don't overthink it.
This should be fun, okay? Crab cakes are fun. Like, we're winning. It's gonna be great. Everybody loves a crab cake, except for those people who are allergic to shellfish. They do not love crab cakes, okay? I don't know why I bring that up. Yeah, if you have a shellfish allergy right now, you're still gonna love the sauce. We'll get into that in a minute. All right, and so what we're gonna do at this point is we're gonna refrigerate these and let them set a little bit, and not wrapped up or anything. I'm just gonna refrigerate them for about 10-15 minutes while we make the sauce. Then we're gonna bring them back out here and pop them right on that cast iron griddle. You know, as if crab cakes weren't enough, we gotta give an elevated sauce for the crab cakes. Now this is a butter sauce, so there's gonna be an emulsification, but don't get freaked out, okay? Don't be intimidated by this. Super simple, fresh ingredients, big, bold, meaty flavor. Let's start by chopping some sun-dried tomatoes, mince some parsley, we'll cut up some tomato, we'll juice some lemon. I've already got some roasted garlic, and I just put garlic in a pan with oil and heated it up to a simmer for about 10 minutes and then turned it off. So I've got what's known in the industry as a ninja burner. It's just this little, I don't know, butane deal. So we lock it in and click start it, and we've got a nice little flame going. And I've got a little bit of leftover roasted garlic oil. So we'll start with about a teaspoon of oil on the bottom, and once that gets hot, we'll start incorporating the rest of the ingredients. First things first, those cloves of roasted garlic. And I'm gonna use my whisk to just start macerating. And the trick to this sauce is not so much whisking things together, but really macerating it and making it meaty. Don't these little things look meaty? I like to use roasted garlic and fresh garlic, but we're gonna put them in at different times. This is gonna be a very meaty sauce. Look at it. I mean, it's hearty, you know, but it pairs so well with the subtle elegance of those crab cakes. You know, sun-dried tomatoes almost bring a tartness, and that roasted garlic is so different than fresh garlic. There's really some unique yet simple and elevated flavors going on already in this pot. Once those sun-dried tomatoes become a little pliable, you know that they've heated up, and we're just sweating everything out right now. So let's go in with our fresh garlic. That's what I like to hear. And we're almost making a paste. Maceration. It's at this point, before the garlic starts to get any color, that I like to hit in 2 teaspoons of dark chili powder, and we're gonna toast that off. Now let's think about this logically. Things are gonna start burning up on us, right? So we need to put a little acid in there. We need to put a little bit of moisture content in there. That's where the fresh tomatoes come in. They're gonna pull all of that flavor that gets stuck to the bottom of the pot because the acid and the liquid in them, and bring it all up. And we're gonna macerate again, okay? And look how clean the bottom of that pan becomes as it pulls all the flavor.
Wow, the aroma just went through the roof.
And once I start to see some bubbles come up and this roast down a little bit more, we're gonna knock in, I love saying it, we're gonna knock in a little white wine, a little Sauvignon Blanc. And that's gonna provide more acid, and it's gonna be the base for what we're gonna mount the butter into for this gorgeous sauce. I mean, I'm just thinking about getting some pasta in this right now. This is crazy. So notice how loose it is right now. If we were to start mounting butter at this point, the sauce would be very loose as we put it on the plate, and it would, on a white plate, you'd see the plate through it. So we want to reduce this by half. We're gonna go in while we're here together, just a little sriracha. And this is the action. Maceration, whip. I've cubed up the butter. And it's kind of chilly this morning, but we'll mount a little bit in at a time with a low heat underneath. So if you're boiling and you try to add your butter, it's going to separate. If you add cold butter and it gets this sauce too cold, it's going to separate. So you want just a slight flame after we've reduced that white wine by half, and we're going to mount a piece of butter and whisk it in at a time until this piece disappears, and then we go in with the next. Now all that's left is to brighten it up with a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Garnish in the very end with the fresh chopped parsley. And last but not least, a little salt. That is the prettiest sauce I've made in a while. All right, so let's go ahead and grab those crab cakes out of the refrigerator. We've got our cast iron griddle set up. Let's take a look at that one more time. We'll put just a little bit of oil on that cast iron to better transfer the heat. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I've got nice oil on the cast iron, and I'm gently setting these crab cakes down. Wind is really starting to come in now. I'll say this.
That Florida winter.
I'll say this too, though. It is chilling down a little bit, and we don't talk about this much, but one of the benefits of the Kamado Joe being such thick ceramic, whether it's negative 10 degrees outside or 102 outside, that thick ceramic's going to hold its temperature. So just another benefit of lid down cooking with ceramic. It doesn't matter what the ambient is, we're going to get a fantastic and consistent result. It's been 7 minutes at 350 degrees. Let's take a look. There's that wind again.
Woo. And those crab cakes again.
These little suckers look fantastic. And notice we got a little caramelization at the bottom, which is gonna hold them together as we use our spatula and transfer them to the plate. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with this one here in the front. You know, we didn't use a binder, and yet it was so simple to use that spatula and just pull them right off that Kamado cast iron griddle. They're staying together masterfully just with the retention heat radiating down and kind of roasting the top a little bit, and the bottom being slightly seared and caramelized. Let's go ahead and sauce these babies and give them a go. Notice how we left one side unsauced so you can really see the money, the majesty of that crab cake, and then this side. The colors, the aromas, and I imagine the flavors and textures are through the roof. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. I think this one's got to go to a neighbor. I don't want to mess up that presentation. Let's take a look at these three on the cutting board. Little sauce there. And I mean, that is great.
Wow.
That is great. Here we go. Yep. Crab, stuffed with more crab. That is a crab cake right there. Okay, folks. If you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed shooting it and as much as I enjoyed that taste right there, don't forget to subscribe, like, and please do leave us a comment. Roasted crab cakes on the cast iron, Kamado cast iron griddle. Phenomenal. Cheers, team. From my backyard to yours. See you.